wanted to get out here before it rained. It looks like it's now just starting to rain. I just got off work. This video that we're going to talk about right now, or show you, has to do with the stories that the lady had when I made the video about Caleb's last the map that's been found. If I can hurry up and get this done. This is about the mine that is over by the Yellowstone on the way to Moon Lake. This is where she would go out with her grandpa, and her grandpa would slide the stone out of the way and go down into the mine. I was able to get out there this last weekend, or the weekend before, and with Dan, and we kind of discussed some things, and I think you'll like this video. So without further ado, here it goes. Before I get all wet.
Can't see me.
No, it's looking out the front. Where'd you put the rocks? I didn't see them.
Huh?
Where'd you put the rocks?
Rocks. Oh. Right next to the baseboard heater. Chainsaw and the charger right back where I got it from. You will notice next to the baseboard heater and by the chainsaw some rock samples. If you would please run the, what the hell's it called? XRF. I'm sure Jeff would be happy to pay you. concerns were. His concerns is that somebody's going to get there and take it from him. Okay? Well, you tell the Forest Service about it. If they believe you, you're never going to see a damn bit of it. Do you know a good attorney and archaeologist? I know a few dead ones. Those are the best ones I can think of. It's just some people just haven't got the sense God gave a crowbar.
Why would he call them?
What's that?
Why would he call them?
Why would he call them?
Call the Forest Service or whatever.
Because he thinks he's one of them guys that thinks government helps you. Oh, your window down. Feels good.
I did.
Oh.
I was thinking if I turned the AC off, it'd probably help keep the engine cooler.
Will definitely run cooler.
Damn.
Go over here on the edge. That's where I go. There you go.
That last trip I did with you when I turned the AC on, remember? That's what caused it to overheat. Road looks like it should be nice and smooth, you know?
Oh, I can definitely see the washboards.
Yeah. I mean, they should grade this about once a week. They probably don't get it, but twice a year, probably.
Oh, you're almost there. There's the Guardian. We just got to get past the Guardian.
What's the Guardian?
It's a pinnacle that sticks up out of the ground. It's getting harder and harder to see every year. If you keep your eyes right over here, the base of the hill, you can kind of see part of it sticking up.
Okay.
There. See it right there? See right there? See them rocks?
The mound?
No. Not the big mound, not the big hill, right between it. You see the white rock sticking up? See this pine tree that's closest to us?
Yeah,
and the next pine tree?
Yeah.
Right between the two.
Oh.
But that's not the Guardian. The Guardian is just a little to the left of that, and it comes into view for like a split second.
Okay.
It's a pinnacle.
Naturally occurring pinnacle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a phallus.
Okay.
I'm watching for it. I think that's it right there. See it?
Yeah. Huh.
It used to stick out like a sore thumb, but
Because it was white?
the trees are hiding it now. See it anymore. Almost there. How's your temperature look?
Good. It was made out of this type of conglomerate. This lighter stuff.
I don't know.
Look at it all over the ground.
You gotta remember there's arsenic in that drainage. Okay, take the left.
The left?
Yep. close up to them pine trees.
Some of that stuff.
Just park right there. Good to go. This'll do it. Now, and I think I'll take a leak first.
I was under the impression from Sally's story, I've got a recording, that when we came over from the Indian reservation into the federal, that she took a right and not a left.
No, because the right doesn't take you to the yellow ledges.
Well, this is the one where her grandpa would slide the stone out?
Yeah, it's this way.
Okay.
Okay. If we had, do you have the story with you by chance?
I could probably pull it up on my YouTube. We can listen to it real quick.
Is it according to what she told you?
Mm-hmm. It's all her.
Oh, it's her, that's right. Basically, you get the impression when you listen to her that they went up to the yellow ledges, okay? Now, standing here, that has a whole new meaning.
Yes, it does.
But everybody assumes up at the big yellow ledges. Well, we have yellow ledges right here. We have yellow ledges just around the corner. Yellow ledges there. Right through here. There's the bottom of the drainage.
She said that it was no more than 100 yards from where you parked here, and he'd slide a rock, and she said that a flood came one year and totally wiped it out, and she couldn't find it again.
Right. It's right here. I don't want to go there though because I'm pretty sure it's Indian land. The back of that hill right over there, so you can see the top of the Guardian.
Yeah, I see the Guardian.
The back side of that hill, in fact I think it's this, no it's not this hill, it's on the back side of the hill that's behind it. There's a mine over there. That's the one that they had in Paul Tubby's documentary.
That one you had to move stuff around and go down into, right?
I don't think so. It was open.
Oh, okay.
It's one where Paul says, you gotta watch out for these sticker bushes, and all of a sudden, goddamn son of a bitch.
Yeah. So we can hike that way for about a little bit. Is that about it? Do you think the reservation, is the fence continue down here at all anywhere?
No, that's why I don't dare go beyond here. It's because the fence comes over and terminates right there. So, you know, technically.
Well, actually, there's a fence right there, isn't there?
I don't know because I can't. Oh yeah, there is a fence.
So we're on this side.
Well, I would want to look very closely at the boundaries before I assume that.
Okay. Because it does look like a fence right there running up through the middle of the...
Even though I don't agree with everything that they put out, I am a proponent of stay off Indian land. You don't have to be on Indian land.
Well,
There's too much shit off of Indian land.
I would just make the assumption that it looks like a pretty good fence there. You can see the wires.
Yeah.
It'd have to drop down from here somewhere.
Well, whatever it is, depending on where the boundary goes, what we're looking for is right over there.
Whoa.
If you want, we can go listen to the video.
Yeah, let's do that. I want to just look over the ledge right here and I'll come back and we'll do the video. See if I can see that fence down. Okay, this is at the top of the... If he had a slide of rock, you would think he would be down there, don't you think?
I can see your lips moving.
We do a fence down there. Right there. Probably some around that corner. Let's go back to listen to your video, or the video. The road to get in here was washed out. It was bouncing the hell out of the truck.
Like I said, it's all stuff when you're a kid that you don't pay attention to, so you don't retain it. We called him Dr. Jones because it was right during the time that Indiana Jones came out when we were kids. And he would come to our house here in Mountain Home. He'd be in Rock Creek all summer or up by Moon Lake all summer long. And this guy would come down to our house. And part of it is he wore like a hat that reminded us of Indiana Jones.
I'd like to know who that was.
Yep, so when we seen him,
I'd like to know who that was.
Dr. Jones. Anyway, he showed, and he would come and talk to my dad. He was always trying to get that map. Always trying to talk my dad into showing him that map.
I can see that.
And my dad never would. But this guy showed us, and I seen him as well. Showed my dad.
She was a kid. She was a kid.
Bars.
How old is she?
With Spanish. Yeah, with Spanish writing on it. But he said he found up Rock Creek, and he also showed my dad.
45
my dad went
years
with him a couple times, and this might be common knowledge. I don't know. I just remember them talking about it. I never saw it. That there are like foundations and footings up Rock Creek
She always
of
wore a
old,
hat.
like monasteries
Cowboy
and stuff that he showed my dad, and whether that's right as you cross the cattle guard that separates forest and tribal on the drop down through some windy roads, and when you get down on that flat, there's a dirt road that turns right.
Right.
So that road goes over to
That's
Yellowstone.
still
Okay, that's...
reservation.
Yeah. Yep. So you follow that, and that takes you up to the diversion dam, and the Moon Lake Electric, the hydro station that's up there too. Anyway, so when you're going up there, right as you cross the cattle guard that separates forest and tribal, on the left-hand side is they call them the yellow ledges, and it's just yellow, like sandstone, and I think it's
arsenic.
I'm trying to think of the mineral that's over there.
Arsenic.
I haven't had enough coffee this morning. I can't remember anything. Lime. I think there's lime over there. Anyway, yellow ledges. When I was a kid,
That'd be sulfur.
there was 2 or 3 different occasions that my grandpa took us. We would stop right there.
The cattle guard.
Yep, at the cattle garden park, just on the forest side, and people at that age, that were my grandpa's age, were a little more blurred on tribal and forest lands, because my grandpa grew up, he homesteaded here with his family. He grew up going anywhere he wanted,
Right.
and so boundaries, it was just different for him.
Right.
They didn't have those really clear lines like we do now. Anyway, I remember my grandpa would walk right to it. I can remember looking down the mine shaft, and you could see timbers. You could see a few collapsed timbers.
It started as a vertical mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And
They keep it covered.
yeah, there's just a rock.
Just a rock.
And he would slide the rock off. You know, and he was old at that time. He was 80, and it wasn't like a massive rock, but he would slide it off, and you know, move a little dirt around, and there it was. And it terrified my mom because she's like, "There's mine shafts and stuff here. I don't want my kids falling in or whatever." And you know, we thought it was great. We're like, "Get a rope, let's float, and a flashlight. Let's go. You know, let's go see what's down there." And then, probably 5-10 years after that, my grandpa had passed, there was a big, like, flash flood up there, and you can't find it. I have looked and looked and looked, and I know it's not even far. We would park on the forest side.
Of the cattle guard, right?
Yeah, a very short walk.
Within a mile?
Oh, within not even that. You know, this is an old man within probably
200 yards.
Yeah, 200 yards. Less than a,
And
you
it's
know.
on the
She wants to say
Forest
less than
Service
that.
side?
Yeah,
No.
it's right
Right
here.
there.
It's on the...
It is on tribal. Yeah, now.
Okay.
Now. Then they didn't have the big fence and stuff there.
It's gotta
Oh,
be
They
that
do
fence.
now. And,
Yeah, she's
and when I
assuming
look
that
at it
fence
now,
goes straight.
you know, as a kid I didn't care.
right.
When I look
don't
at
think
it
she
now,
knows
I'm
about
like,
this.
that was definitely on tribal.
'Cause
Definitely.
I'm telling you, it's not on tribal.
So we would, anyway, walk right to it and look
That'd be
down
right down
that, and
If that's
since
the
that
fence
big,
down
big
there,
washout,
it's
I mean,
not
it
on
was
tribal.
massive. That it
That
just
fence
washed that
is
whole thing
in the
out.
drainage.
You know, surely
It
it's still
goes out
there.
of the
Shows
drainage,
some kind
and the
of
drainage is coming this way.
imaging and all the stuff that they have, but
Did you ever
But
get to go
that
down?
mine's
No.
gotta be right there.
no, we never
Too
did.
far down?
It's on this side of the drainage.
We just never tried. My mom was always there, and my,
Yeah.
you know,
In
my
fact, if you
grandpa
asked
and my
her that
mom was
question,
I was just
no.
wondering if you
Okay.
actually could see,
Which side
you know,
of the drainage
what
it's
was in
on,
it,
she'll
what they were
tell you
mining.
this side.
No, I remember asking my mom and
Listen to this.
Grandpa all the time, like, well, what were they mining? What were they getting out of there? Like, what were they looking for?
Coal.
And they were all, it was never, was it gold or silver? They always said something else,
Copper.
but I don't know what. I mean, what else would there be? What would you be mining out of there? I don't know.
There are some mines right there on the Indian side that have good gold veins in them. And so it could be that same, either the
If
same
you're
mine I'm
mining,
thinking of, or
what are you going to be
or
mining
one
for?
that's connected to that one.
I'm sure. I mean, why else? It's not like they were mining
Couple
for
more big
some other
trailers.
kind of mineral or something that was up there. I'm like, it had to have been something. And even if they didn't admit it, there had to have been something there that I think that
Why
they
would
were
a grandpa
looking
go
for.
down there for nothing?
I think they were looking for gold.
Why would it go down in a hole for nothing?
Based on everything I've heard in her description, it's, once you take a good look at this drainage, okay?
Yeah.
What do they call it when you're referring to the water basin, the capture area? What do they call that?
Like a cistern or a...
It sucks when I have to turn to my own books just to find what something's called. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You have a basin area. All the rain that drops into that area will flow to this point, okay?
Right.
That's called something, and I can't think of what it's called. But anyhow,
It's like a capture point, like a...
yeah. This basin isn't that big. How the hell are you going to get a flash flood? That would have had to have been one hell of a rainstorm.
That's what she was saying. I don't know
And
if
it
was
went
rain or...
directly over the top of this little basin here in order to give you a flash flood, as they've called it. It's not impossible. And I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it couldn't have been that big. Point being is, how's it going to destroy the mine or the entrance?
Maybe not destroy it, maybe just covered it up in silt or whatever you want to call it, the material.
That
so
would,
you'd have to clean it off to get back down to where it was.
That would imply that the opening was very close to the drainage. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it'd be down at in the
'Cause
bottom.
you come up out of the drainage 5 feet, 10 feet, you know, give it the benefit of the doubt.
The only thing
the water
you'd be getting
wasn't that high.
It'd be like if you looked at this mountain here. Not even if it had a big hard rain, it's not gonna wear it down as much as if you have a collective of everything to bury something. So it had to be down at the bottom.
Yeah. In order for it to cover it, change it, destroy it, whatever, it had to been near the bottom of the drainage.
If that's the case, though, why would you build a mine specifically in the middle of a drainage, whereas every year it would cover up in silt? You have to dig it out.
You wouldn't. In other words, the place that they put it, they never thought for 1 minute that the water would ever reach it. So it's not in the drainage, it's above the drainage, and I'll bet you it's on this side. But like she said, they got one hell of a rainstorm. It would take a downpour over this little basin.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely possible.
The next thing that it's not that I'm disputing her or anything, it's just a point that I'm bringing out is, she said her grandpa was 80 years old. You look, I mean, we're in our 50s, 60s. I mean, if you look to get down this way, I wouldn't want to go down that way. There has to be a better, easier access for an 80-year-old to make it.
That's why I'm telling you it's this way. They side-hilled it. It's entirely up to you, but I'm still in question as to where the boundary is, okay? I don't know whether we're sitting on Indian land right now or not,
well,
even though I can see a fence down there.
Well, you can see the fence right behind me, cuts
Yes.
over and goes down.
Right, and that kind of implies that on that side is Indian and this is forest.
Correct.
Okay?
Maybe
But
we can find a placard
how
on
do we know
this.
that fence wasn't built for other purposes, you know, for cattle or whatever?
True. There might be a sign of the Indian. Sometimes the Indians put the placards on their sign saying this is reservation.
Well, if you want to go down and walk the fence line and see.
Yeah. I mean, we got a couple
I know
more.
I'm not gonna. What's gonna tell me is to actually look at the boundaries on a map. And if I'm still uncertain, then I go down to the county and I pull up their maps.
The main thing is I wanted to show the people watching this video or her videos that in this area that's we're actually here where she was talking about, and how, like you said, it looks so much different than what you think about in your head when you listen to these stories. And so there's so much.
That didn't happen to me because when I first heard the story, I already knew this place quite well. What I was going to say is, if we sitting here as we are right now, if an Indian come up here and he said, "Hey, you're on Indian land,"
We would respect that.
okay, I'm not going to argue with him because there's no point in arguing with a bullet. Yeah, this one here, I think captures you just because it's an old story. It's a shaft.
It's personal experience.
Yes, it's a personal experience thing, and it's more than likely a gold mine.
So to get to the mine on the Ute side, did most people just hike there, or did?
Yeah.
Okay.
The funny thing is if you try to go in there, I don't know what it is, but this is probably one of the best places to walk over to it. Okay. The funny thing is as soon as you get there, you can pretty much set your watch by it. Within 30 minutes, there'll be an Indian out there. I think they have trail cams.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. got too many people who have tried to go over and take a look at it. One in particular, but I won't mention his name, but you know who he is. And the guy's as honest as the day is long, and just a hell of a nice guy. But that's the report he gave me. He said we went walking over there to go look at the mine. He says 30 minutes. There was Indian cop there asking, "What the hell are you doing?"
Looking at one of your mines.
You know, you're on Indian land. See, the forest road cuts through there. There's another forest road over there that takes you up to the upper part, up above the yellow ledges.
Okay.
See, the yellow ledges, I don't think, are on Indian land. So, you know, you can hike up to them, but I just have this thing about hiking over the top of arsenic. I'd want to get it.
You for sure that this has arsenic in it?
Oh yeah.
Because Paul in the video said we can't be in there too long because of the arsenic.
Yeah.
In the mine up there.
Well, you could always get a bunch of that yellow dirt, crush it up, and run it through a
Mass
filter,
spectrometer.
and then drink it. And if your body turns black,
or how about
then
we just
you
run
know.
into a mass spectrometer and
Yeah.
see how much arsenic there really is.
I'm going to take their word for it. I have another friend, and this will be a little bonus. I have another friend. I won't mention his name. Maybe later I'll tell you who it is. His aunt was up here, and they were having ceremony up here. And they used to walk up and then walk back, and they walked a hell of a long ways. Well, after the ceremony, she was walking back and on one of these flats down here, just making her way back home, minding her own business, and she trips over something. I mean, biffs it.
Right.
Hits the ground, probably threw out a few Ute cuss words, and got back up, dusted herself off, turns around, and here's this big golden cross just sticking out of the ground
That she
with a
tripped over.
statue, what we think was probably Mary, and maybe it was just a crucifix and it was Christ, I don't know. But she tripped over it, got back up, dusted herself off, looked down at it, and went walking home. And for years he was after her. Take me up and show me where that was. And, oh, we'll get there, I'll show you someday. And just never would take him. And she passed away years ago. And it kind of drives him nuts a little bit.
Was he a Ute as well?
Huh?
Was he a Ute as well?
Well, you could presume that.
Okay.
That's why I won't tell you who it is.
I've heard that story.
You maintain friends by keeping your word with them.
I got you. We
You
don't
know,
need to.
And he didn't tell me to keep it quiet. He didn't tell me not to tell the story. It's just.
But I've read that story back when I first got into this back in the early 2000s. At least it's nice and cool right here.
It's nice here. This is the first time I haven't felt like I've been sweating continuously since I got up.
So this particular area has a lot of history to it, and I enjoy listening to the story and being at the in the same place where this happens. I think I'll probably take a hike up over that ridge and look at what you're talking about, maybe.
My buddy that I was talking about, whose aunt tripped over that, I mean, he has spent, I mean, this is back in the Terra server days, he has spent, I can't count how much time scanning back and forth trying to find anything that looks like a statue or a cross sticking out of the ground. You know, it was kind of just high enough to where she tripped over it.
Was it this drainage or another drainage they'd go out and dance, or was it what type of ceremony was it?
Where exactly they go for their ceremony at the yellow ledges, I don't know. It could be, there might be a nice little flat up there somewhere. I figure it's their business, you know. I don't need to know.
Do a lot of people, non-tribal people, come up this way to do anything, like hunting and stuff like that, or
Not really. I think most people that know anything about this area
They're
right
looking
here,
for
they know that there's arsenic, and it's not something you want to play around with. I mean, I'll bet you money the arsenic levels are so low it's ridiculous, and it's not anything to really worry about. But would I drink water out of a little creek? No.
so you're really not comfortable knowing that this where we're sitting could be tribal land, because
Well, I'm not concerned about it right now, or
we're
even,
not hiking anywhere.
or at even any time. But do I want to go hiking over there? Probably not, because some people just aren't going to go, hey, you're on Indian land. They're just going to go, boom.
Yeah, that would put.
For all we know, we're sitting here
That'd
in
be put the
sights
end,
right
end
now.
of my YouTube videos for sure, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't doubt if we have crosshairs on us right now.
Which that was my fear when we were at Current Creek.
What's that?
That was my fear at Current Creek, from what the.
Current Creek don't bother me.
No, I mean that's what he told us. He had people watching us.
And it's highly likely that there could be, but was there? Probably not. I think his name was Wayne. I remember his first name was Wayne. He was there by himself. That photo in your opening, that's where that was taken, is right in front of the mine.
I have my glasses on. I'm standing in front of the mine there, and that's shortly after
You
that.
were actually cool back then. I was like that once. Now I'm just fat.
My
and
hair
old.
wasn't gray.
Yeah.
I said, who the hell's
I
that?
hate looking behind me.
And I actually didn't have a belly. I looked like I had upper torso strength. What, can we go on?
You mean one of these?
My jeans fit me.
Yeah, your jeans fit you? Hell, why do you think I wear sweats? Getting sick and damn tired of my pants fitting one day and the next day they don't.
That's another reason that, I figured if I get some exercise, come out in the mountains, I'd at least lose something.
You were a roofer.
Yes?
I wish I knew about sweatpants back when I first started roofing. You remember how many pairs of Levi's you went through?
Just on the left knee.
Oh hell, I went through both knees.
I'd wear out my left shoe and my left knee. So I'd buy a pair of jeans every week or every 2 weeks, and then shoes every month.
Hell, I used both knees, both sides of my feet.
Oh, I learned how to ride the roof, so.
Yeah, geez, if I had sweats, I'd put on 2 pairs of sweats. That way one is giving and the other one's sitting right on the asphalt. I would have saved so much money. But you see, sweats weren't cool back then.
No, they weren't.
They're not cool now.
They weren't cool in the 80s either.
I don't think they've ever been cool.
Well, I think if you wanted to, we should go hike up around that corner at least, and you can tell me what you see.
What you mean, we, white man?
That fear
I
in
wouldn't
me.
doubt it if we've got a
Trail cam.
trail cam somewhere right here. And I think that's how they know when people's going in. They either go in here. The trail cam, if there is one over here, is going to be down in there somewhere. I think those days are kind of behind us. And you have to question that after what happened just a few months ago, but
What happened a few months ago?
you haven't heard?
No, I don't, maybe, I just.
Okay. You know, when we go up to that one place and you go over the bridge and you're on Indian land, you take that nasty bumpy road up to the cattle guard.
Yeah.
We were there yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. There was somebody traveling along that road on a
ATV.
UTV,
Which you're not supposed
a
to.
side by side,
Right?
fully registered, street legal, insured, and he got pulled over. And they said, you're not supposed to be riding this on these roads. We're going to impound it. Well, after he confiscated their driver's license, had all their information, knew where they lived, knew that they were unarmed, said he was going to, or she was going to impound the vehicle. And he says, you're not impounding my dad's side by side. And they got in it, started driving away. She pulls her gun out, starts shooting at them. Both critically injured. He's probably paraplegic now, and his girlfriend, from what I hear, she's recovered from the wounds, but she's not mentally going to recover from that for a long time. And it would seem the tribe is hiding this woman, and they don't want to prosecute her. And the Fed's pushing to prosecute her. I hate to say it, but I think the Fed needs to keep their damn nose out of it. If it's on Indian land, wrong or right, it's under their jurisdiction. But yeah, I think she needs to be tried.
So is there anything else in this area that you might be able to let us know about?
Yeah, but I can't tell you. I'd have to kill you. Yes, but it's not something I can tell you.
No, okay,
not my story.
That's fine. We'll dig through the stories.
You ever been up to Barrel Spring up here?
No.
They said it's called Barrel Spring because there used to be a barrel there. Rick Crawford dug it up here a couple weeks ago, and there was a barrel. The lid's sitting in front by the white picket fence.
Really?
Down there. I'm supposed to bring it up. I forgot to bring it up. And give it to the guy that told us about it. Let him take it home.
You would think that the barrel would have been rotten by now.
You'd think so, but the sides were still there. The rings were, of course, rotted away. The lid was gone, but the bottom of the barrel was still intact and in good condition.
And that was what the water was in.
Yeah, they dug a hole and buried it in the ground so that the water would fill the barrel up so they could just go in and dip water out.
So it's a naturally occurring spring just running into there so people would get drinks?
I think so. I think they had it to where the spring had run into it. But, you know, he was curious. He was thinking, they said there was a barrel here. I'm going to see if there was a barrel.
And there was. The spring is dried up, I suppose, now?
No, it still flows.
Oh. Maybe we have to...
It's called Barrel Spring, and it's just up the road a ways. But they were looking for a couple of trees up there with marks on them. This one may be possibly one of the mines that showed on the copper map. I don't know. I've never really... I'm not interested in finding mines. Well, that sounds stupid from somebody who's dedicated this whole year to find one stinking mine, and then the whole thing got spoiled because we found it on the first day. I'm not looking for the mine, I'm looking for what the mine represents.
A validation of everything else.
Yes. But
I got that.
yeah, so there's my hypocrisy.
But that's what I'm doing here with this is validating those stories. I'm sitting here at the exact place that all these stories happened, or some of the stories happened, and you're telling me it's right over there is that mine that I've heard the stories about. We don't know where this one is, but more than likely it's within 200 yards up that canyon.
Well, if we can figure out for certain where the boundaries are, I might go over and look for it, because I know where it should be.
We're just gonna hike up around this corner, see what it looks like, because more than likely this is about all that Sally's grandpa would have done as well. Here, I'm going to take this off. think I'll stay up on this trail up here. So more than likely, the entrance is going to be above that wash, up and just above it here. Now we came here. It wouldn't be on a steep side like there. I think you have the fence line over here. You can kind of see it right there. I'll have to ask Sally if it's on that side or this side. But it seems too steep to be able to slide a rock back and forth. You'd think it'd be on this side here. If anything, is really cool formations. Now there's interesting, some flat stone there. Okay. If anything, it would be down on that flat area, you'd think. Above the ditch. Ouch. Watch out for that stick. Let's go look at that real quick. Probably a snake will jump out at me. Where'd I leave my tripod? Did you see where I put my tripod?
No. Where did you go down?
I went down.
You went down right here.
Okay. So I'm about 10 feet lower than I was.
You had it right here.
And I took it off, probably right on the side of that tree. Damn. Here it is. There it is.
I'm not sure by any means, but that mine that Paul went to
Yeah?
might be right here behind this hill. Might be.
Because you think of something a minute? You thought of something?
Well, I'm just looking at where the Guardian is and comparing. When we go down, when we leave, I want to look back up here.
Okay. So it's on the other side of that mountain?
It might be on the north side of that.
Right over there.
Yes.
It should be right there. Interesting.
Might help if I look at a USGS map.
Just going over there, I probably went 100 yards or so. The only place to catch my breath. I'm gonna pause you for a minute.